Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Jake Demai. I run a bookkeeping company. I have about 50 clients. I made about $225,000 in profit last year. I have my sights set on 300K in 2026, but it's January right now. And to be truthful, to be totally transparent, I feel like I'm hanging by a thread. I'm not surprised by it. Every January is a challenging month for a number of reasons, and I'll get into why it can be challenging, but it's definitely the hardest month out of the year for a bookkeeper. It's nothing like a tax season for tax accountants. I used to do taxes, and tax season would last from January all the way through April. Excuse me. But this is hard. I'm not working more than 40 hours a week, but the 40 hours that I am working, I am all in. And it's worth it though. But I will say it's very challenging, and especially when you get to where I'm at, ever since I maybe got past the 40, oh man, keep clearing my throat. Every time once I got past the 40 client mark, I felt like the client relationships became harder to manage, because while I'm outsourcing the actual monthly work to my remote employee, I'm still managing the relationships. I'm still handling the phone calls. I'm still responding to emails, and I'm doing the review work. And so a lot of it does still fall on me. And ultimately I'm the bottleneck. And so I have 50 clients, over 50 clients. And, I don't know how long I can continue to do this on my own to manage the relationships. I think I could change a couple of things, and I'll get into it. But I just want to be transparent about where I'm at with my bookkeeping business, because most of the time it's all butterflies and rainbows. I talk about how great it is to run a bookkeeping business, and it is. Every month is, manageable, it's smooth, it's consistent, it's steady, but January is one of the harder months, and I'll explain why. Because what I'm doing right now, guys, is I'm doing the monthly bookkeeping, but I'm not just doing the monthly bookkeeping. I'm doing the monthly bookkeeping plus year-end tie-outs. And what I mean by that is I try to tie out and get the books completely ready. And so it's a different level of review at the end of the year compared to on a monthly basis. For example, a lot of my clients have mortgages that they don't have a way to give me access to the mortgage statements, and I don't bother them to try to get the statements. I usually estimate what the interest is, and I break out the interest based off of how it's historically been broken out. But at the end of the year, that's when I request the statements for these unique loans or for these mortgages, and I tie out to the penny. And I try to get the balance sheet to agree to every single work paper. So the bank accounts need to tie to the statements, as they always do every month. And so that's nothing new. But I tie out the inventory, I tie out, and by the way, the inventory is simple. I just ask the client for their estimated count if they have inventory, and then I run a journal entry. But it's really important, because once you send those financial statements for the end of the year, you can't change it, because they're going to give those financial statements to a CPA. The CPA is going to file the tax return, and once the tax return is filed, you can't go back and change the numbers. That's a really important rule. If you don't know that, once a tax return is filed, you cannot go back and change the numbers. That's a big no-no. But before the tax return's filed, before the financials are sent to the CPA, you can make whatever changes you want to the previous year. And so that's why on a month-to-month basis, I don't worry too much about getting everything tied out to the penny. There are a few open loose ends after the end of each month, but at the end of the year, in January, in the month I'm in now, I can't get away with that. I have to have absolutely clean books at the end of the year as of 12/31. The payroll needs to tie out to the W-3. The sales need to tie out to their report summary and their POS system. The loans need to tie out. The profit and loss needs to look clean, and everything just needs to agree. And so that's the first challenge, guys. There's an additional level of review. The second challenge, as I alluded to, is the communication part of things. I think I could have done a better job with communicating in December about just setting expectations. I don't think I did a good job about it. I have a cadence every single month, and I have a priority list that my clients pay for. And so I offer discounts if people don't care about the timing. And then I offer, lately I've been requiring my clients to pay a premium if they want their financials done earlier. However, at the end of the year, it feels like everyone forgets about these discounts, and premiums. And so everybody is calling me at one time. And I think that's the hardest part, because most of the clients, most of the business owners I work with, they don't look at their financials very often. I'll do my best to be proactive, and I'll try to review the numbers. I'll send emails, and I send monthly emails, and sometimes I don't hear back from the client for an entire year. There can be an entire 12 months that go by and I never hear from a client until the month of January. They finally come to me and they either send me a response to all of my questions at one time, which is fine, or they call me with questions, or they're not sure how to read the numbers, and so they schedule a meeting with me. And all of that happens in January for these clients. Again, it makes the rest of the year super smooth and manageable, but in January it can be challenging. So the communication part of it is definitely maybe the hardest part. But what I'm also working on are one-time cleanups. So I have people come to me and they say, Jake, can you do a one-time cleanup for me for an entire year's worth of transactions? I've had clients that come to me for these one-year cleanups for like 4 years straight. And so I know what to expect. They're pretty easy. I charge a flat fee, and I enjoy these cleanup jobs. But again, it happens at the same time. What I also do that I slightly regret doing is I offer 1099s. I offer to do 1099s. Now, if you don't know anything about 1099s, it basically 1099 is owed to any contractor or company or person that provides a service in excess of $600 in 2025. In 2026, it'll be increased to $2,000. And it's super easy to do in QuickBooks. But again, it's one more thing, and it's one more thing to manage. The way I price my 1099s is I do a $200 flat fee for my clients. If they want me to handle the 1099s, if they want me to identify the contractors, if they want me to calculate the amounts that need to be included on the 1099s, if they want me to pull all that information together and file the 1099s, I charge a flat fee of $200 per client if there are under 10 1099s. For every 1099 after 10, I'll charge $10 per 1099 that's filed. So that's kind of a snapshot into the 1099 window that I'm doing. I don't enjoy doing 1099s, but I do feel like since I'm doing the bookkeeping anyway, I might as well do the 1099s, because I found that when I first started my business, I didn't do 1099s, and I found that a lot of clients were asking me for that information anyway, and they wanted me to give them a list of the contractors that needed 1099s, and QuickBooks makes it super easy to file the 1099s. And so I do it through QuickBooks. It's about $5 per form that I charge, that the client gets billed for separately. And again, it takes me 10, 15 minutes per client, but when you have 15, 20 clients asking for the service, it adds up. But again, it's a great, profitable service, and so I can't complain. I price pretty high compared to the average CPA firm, and so I have no problem with my clients going to other providers for that service. But I also, I do offer it just in case. So that's the 1099s. Those are the services I provide. I also do quarterly bookkeeping as well. And so that's just one more thing that gets added to my January slate. So like I said, guys, it's an overwhelming month. I'm not going to be doing a lot of these YouTube videos because I'm just busy. And if I'm going to be a responsible business owner, I can't be wasting my time with these YouTube videos, although I do enjoy talking about what I'm going through, my thought process, what I could do differently. Because I know if you're starting out a bookkeeping company, or if you're thinking about starting it, you might not be aware of the January challenges. But like I said, when you first start your business, when you have under 5 clients, or when you have 5 to 10 or 15 clients, January is not that stressful. It's not super difficult because the relationships are easy to manage. But now that I'm at 50 clients, there is, everybody expects to be the priority. Everybody expects to basically get what they're paying for. And so that's why this is a challenging time. But the good news is, like I said, I'm making money. This month already I've made $22,000. It is, the 20th of the month? It's January 20th. I've already made $22,000. I expect to make another $2,000 to $3,000 in revenue, probably a little bit more than that, maybe $4,000 more in revenue. So once this month is done, I expect to have made $26,000 in revenue. My payroll to my employee is $2,750. And then my rent and my other expenses are about $2,000 more. And so if you do the math on it, I have about $4,000 or $5,000 in expenses. I've made about $26,000 in revenue. And so the profit is about $21,000 $22,000 for the month of January, which is not bad. It's actually a great month, and it's better than it was last year. And every year, my business continues to grow like a snowball. I keep adding clients, and it's hard to stop it. In fact, I don't know, like if a client comes to me and they want bookkeeping services done, I don't really have, and I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Right now, what I'm thinking about doing is having a waiting list. And so if somebody comes to me, I'll tell them, listen, I can't get it done this month or maybe even next month, but if you wanna get on my waiting list, you can be, I can help you in like end of February or early March, just to give me enough time to breathe, because I'm also taking a week off in February to go to Florida, and that may be stressful as well because it's just a busy time. So yeah, guys, that's kind of a breakdown of where I'm at in my business. It's not all butterflies and roses. It is challenging. It is hard work. I don't have a lot of time to be distracted. I don't have a lot of time for these YouTube videos. Right now, I'm at work. My fingers are crunching at the keyboard. I'm on the phone a lot. I'm answering emails. I'm tying things out, but I absolutely enjoy it. This is a hard month, but it's no harder. It's a lot easier than most businesses out there. It's especially easier than a tax employee's life. When I was a tax employee, like I said, they were grueling hours, 55, 60 hours a week. And I'm happy to not be doing that. I'm happy to be totally in control. I'm working a lot, but I'm also making a lot of money, so it is worth it. If you guys enjoyed this content, please like the video. If you want to hear more from me, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a one-on-one consultation with me to talk about your business specifically, I offer one-to-one consultations where I talk to you, I answer your specific questions. We take a look at your business. I maybe break out, I answer any question you have. We can look at my numbers. We can look at how my business is doing currently. We can dive deeper into my spreadsheets. Whatever you want, I'm happy to open it up for you. Obviously, there's a fee for that, and I'll put a link in the description below. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.